Have you noticed that it seems like the whole world is being offended? We live in an offended culture. Everyone has something to be upset about, to be offended about. Let's talk about dealing with offenses. I'm Pastor Lane with Branches Church. Thank you for joining me. If you want to, hit the button and subscribe. There's going to be more content coming out. And check us out if you're in the metro area of Atlanta. You can go to the website, branches.faith. Dealing with offenses. Jesus said offenses would come. If you go through life thinking that you're never going to be offended, that nothing negative's ever going to happen, you're living in fantasy world. Offenses will come. But here's the great thing. You can choose what you will be offended by. I'm reminded of the story of David going to eventually meet Goliath in battle. He's going to deliver food to his brothers and to the people at the battlefield. When he gets there, he hears Goliath calling from the valley, making a challenge to Israel and a challenge to their God. And he says, "What are we going to do?" Immediately, Eliab, his brother, says, "What are you going to do? Who's watching the sheep? Shouldn't you be at home? What do you think you can do?" David endures the negative attack of his brother. In that moment, he could have been offended, but he chose what he would be offended by. He wasn't offended by Eliab. He wasn't offended by those standing around and maybe gawking at this conversation that was very public between he and his brother. Instead, he chose to stay offended by Goliath, offended by the one who was attacking his country and attacking his God. We choose our offenses. We can choose what we will be offended by. So when that person that you're at work with, they stick you with that slight comment that is easily something you could take the wrong way, you can choose whether you're going to be offended or not. It all comes down to will. What am I willing in my life that I'm going to allow to get deeper than it should and cause an offense in my life? So when you hear something or someone says something to you or you see something that's happening, maybe you're scrolling through Facebook and something there pops up, it's offensive, you can choose in that moment, am I going to allow this to offend me or not? We don't have to be an offended culture. We can have the will and the strength to choose what things offend us and put our energy toward things that really deserve that energy. Goliath deserved that energy. Eliab, he didn't deserve the time and the energy it would take for David to be offended at him. You have the power of choosing what offends you.